Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Top 5 Wednesday. The topic for this week is books that you want to read before the end of this year. So a pretty self-explanatory topic this week. At the start of January, when I first created my booktube channel, I was very excited and very enthusiastic and full of bright ideas and optimism, and I actually posted a video about the series that I wanted to read in the duration of 2016, and I have actually done shockingly, appallingly bad at reading those series. I've actually only read one of the series that I mentioned in that video, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but I'm not too disappointed about it because I have read some really great books this year, so I don't necessarily regret my reading choices, but it would have been nice to get through more of them than I have. Obviously, we're almost in September now, so there is still time for me to read maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 of the other series that I mentioned in that video, but we will see where the mood takes me and things like that. So I'm going to get right on into books that I definitely want to read before the end of this year. The first one I am hoping to read around October time, and that is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. This book has always intrigued me. I've had it for quite a long time now. I think there may actually be a second one either out or about to come out. As you can see, this book is a lovely bright pink colour and it looks like a lovely light fluffy girly book on the outside, but as you might be able to tell from the title and the upside down pentagram and the forgive us Father for we have sinned written on the back, it's really not quite all what it seems. And I think it's about a girl who gets involved in a satanic cult, and I think there's obviously devil worship and possibly human possession involved. So it's a very dark, heavy horror book is what I understand from it, and it definitely sounds right up my street. I've always been very drawn to this book and I can't actually believe that it's taken me this long to actually want to pick it up, but I am hoping to obviously around Halloween time. So yeah, really excited for that. I'm actually really into kind of human possession stories at the moment because maybe I'm a little bit twisted, I don't know. So yeah, it's definitely something that I am in the mood for. So yeah, definitely this one. The next book that I want to read before the end of this year is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and I know I've mentioned this book quite a lot in recent videos. This is kind of a spin-off to Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which I have read. In Fangirl, Kath writes fan fiction for a book series that she loves called Simon Snow, and Simon Snow is supposed to be kind of based on Harry Potter. So I think this is a fantasy book because obviously Kath's writings are fantasy, and this is supposed to be Kath's writings, but it is Rainbow's take on Simon Snow, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit complicated. So yeah, this is the series that Kath loves in Fangirl, but it's Rainbow Rowell writing it, it's not Kath writing it. So yeah, a little bit of something to get your head around there. But I think Simon Snow isn't a particularly good chosen one. So that sounds quite interesting. I think this is about the possible friendship / relationship between Simon Snow, who is obviously supposed to be based on Harry Potter, and his arch nemesis and roommate Baz, who is supposed to be based on Draco Malfoy, which I'm really intrigued about because I've always been interested in the dynamics between Harry and Draco, so I am interested to see how Rainbow interprets that and puts it into the dynamics between Simon and Baz. And also I would love to see how Rainbow Rowell does fantasy, because obviously she normally writes contemporary. So yeah, there's a lot of things about this book that I am really interested in, so hopefully I will get to it soon. I may even put it on my September TBR and see where that gets me. So yeah. The next book I want to read before the end of this year is the final book in a trilogy. I have read the first 2 a long time ago and absolutely loved them, so I don't know why I haven't picked this up sooner, but that is Library of Souls by Ransom Briggs. This is the 3rd book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy. The film of the first book is coming out this year, which I'm very excited about. If you don't know anything about this trilogy, it's quite complicated, but it's about a little boy who goes on holiday to Wales, and there he finds the entrance into a kind of a world that is stopped by time. These children that he finds there, they all have special abilities that mean that they have to isolate themselves from the real world in a kind of time loop, but there are scary creatures hunting them for their abilities, and obviously they are looked after by a lady called Miss Peregrine, who is very enigmatic and a very, very interesting character. And it's told in a very interesting format. It's told in kind of photograph form, so I think that Ransom Riggs actually found the photographs in these books and decided to write the story around them, which I think is just such a unique concept. I think like a misconception about this trilogy is that some people think that it's a little bit scary, and it's not scary at all. It's much more fantasy than horror or paranormal or anything like that. It's much more fantasy and adventure, I would say. So yeah. The next book that I hope to read before the end of this year is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is the first in a YA dystopian trilogy. I do have all three of them, and I think this is about a world where kids they find out on their 10th or 11th birthdays, I think, that they have a certain power, and the government is hunting them for this power, and obviously they have to go on the run for that reason. I think it's a little bit X-Men-y, which obviously sounds awesome, and I don't know if I'll get through this entire trilogy. Hopefully I will kind of want to marathon it at some point before the end of this year, but I definitely want to read at least the first book before this year is out. So yeah. And the last book that I want to read before the end of this year, and I really, really want to read this very, very soon, is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And again, a film is coming out of this around Halloween time, so I'm really excited for that. I think this is a very highly emotional book, and you guys know I love my highly emotional books, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think it is about a boy whose mum has a very serious terminal illness, and I think that is the monster in question. I don't think it is an actual paranormal or mythical monster. I think the monster is real. I think that's kind of the emotional kind of nub of this book. So yeah, I'm interested to see what I think of it. I do have this lovely, lovely illustrated edition of it. This was the edition I wanted, and I got it secondhand in a charity shop, so I absolutely love that fact that I could get the exact edition of this book for very cheaply. So yeah, but I'm really, really excited because I've heard so many good things about it. So yeah. And that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What books are you planning to read before the end of the year? Please let me know. Obviously, all my social media will be down below in the description as normal. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.